came to Jesus. He came to Yeshua in the Garden of Gethsemane. And he kissed him. Wow. Jesus says, friend, why have you come? And then they took him. And then you know what happened. The kiss of one who betrays, I think that's probably the worst. You know, one of my favorite places to go in Jerusalem is the place where, after this event, they took Judas to the house of Caiaphas, the high priest. Remember, in the middle of the night, they had that mock trial. And if you go there, there's a courtyard right there. Actually, you can go into the pit where they believe that Jesus actually spent the night before he was crucified. For me, I like to go there. And I like to sit in the courtyard where Peter was. You remember the story? Jesus says, you know, Peter was all like, hey man, I'm never going to leave you. I'm going to be your man. You can count on me. I'll be on time. I'll be at practice, I promise. I'll know the songs, man. I will sing a prophetic song. I'm there for you. I am going to be the guy in the band. I mean, I'm there. And Jesus says, listen, before tomorrow, you're going to deny that you even know me. And Peter's like, what? Well, after this whole event, you know, and he got intense. I mean, he pulled out his sword and he, you know, whacked off the guy's ear. So he made a good attempt. But hours later, he's in the courtyard, and man, standing there by the fire, and some little girl goes, hey, you're with him. You're with that guy that they're judging right now. You're one of them. And he's like, man, I don't know who you're talking about. Another one, yeah, I saw you. You were the one that handed me the bread in the Galilee. I don't know what you're talking about. No, I saw you. You were there when he called Lazarus out of the grave. And Peter's like, man, I don't know who you're talking about. And all of a sudden, Peter's like, holy smokes, man. And, you know, I think we all have to confront our own tendency to betray him. I sat in that courtyard many times. One of my favorite films was Braveheart. You remember seeing that film? I think every worshiper should love that movie. And what an incredible film. And you remember the scene in that movie where one of the Scottish lords, you know, had the power to turn things in Scotland's favor against England at the time. But he made a deal, remember that? And he negotiated for himself to get lands. And after they had come to this epic point in the battle between Scotland and England, you know, and they needed everybody to be there. Turns out that this one guy had betrayed just so he could gain for himself. His name was Robert the Bruce. And I remember myself many times sitting at that courtyard, realizing that in my heart, I had both a William Wallace and a Robert the Bruce. I have these desires to be that, you know, one that will just go for it, you know, without restraint or without restriction. I'll always be faithful and I'll always be strong and yet you got to examine your heart sometimes. And sitting there in the courtyard, you just get confronted. You know what's there in the courtyard? A big pillar, you know, with some Roman soldiers. You know what's on top? A rooster. And I just sit there in the courtyard and I just stare at that rooster and I'm like, and you gotta be able to go there. Judas, the kiss of one who betrays.